Leadership Unpacked. I'm Hannah Halley, and in this episode, we're diving into a skill that's essential for any successful leader, the art of delegation. Delegation isn't just about offloading tasks, it's about empowering your team, building trust, and freeing yourself to focus on the big picture. Today, we'll explore insights from The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey by Ken Blanchard and William Onken, a classic on delegation. We'll also look at real-life examples from companies like Apple, Basecamp, and the Ritz-Carlton to understand how effective delegation can make teams stronger and leaders more focused. By the end of this episode, you'll have practical strategies to start delegating with confidence. To start our discussion on delegation, let's talk about why delegation matters. In The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey, Ken Blanchard and William Onken describe effective delegation as transferring responsibility in a way that empowers your team to take ownership. They use a memorable metaphor of monkeys on our backs, where each task or responsibility we take on is like a monkey that requires time and attention. If we're constantly trying to manage every monkey ourselves, we won't have the bandwidth to focus on high-level priorities. Delegation isn't just about handing off tasks to lighten our own load. It's a tool for growth and engagement. When we delegate effectively, we're actually helping our team develop new skills, encouraging them to take ownership, and creating a culture of accountability. Done right, delegation benefits both the leader and the team, leading to more creativity, productivity, and a stronger sense of shared purpose. A great example of effective delegation in a large company is Apple's approach to product development. When it comes to launching new products, Apple's senior leadership doesn't micromanage each detail. Instead, they give product teams the autonomy to make key decisions about design, functionality, and user experience. These teams operate with a clear mission, creating innovative, user-focused products, but are trusted to execute that vision independently. This approach means that each team has full ownership over their product from start to finish. Apple's leaders set the overall vision and priorities, but they leave the execution to the product teams, allowing them to work freely and creatively within the set guidelines. The result? Teams feel empowered and engaged, which has led to some of Apple's most successful innovations, like the iPhone and MacBook. By delegating effectively, Apple's leaders create an environment where talented people can do their best work without feeling constrained. Apple's approach shows that delegation isn't about handing off tasks and stepping away. It's about empowering teams to take full ownership so they feel motivated to go above and beyond. When teams are trusted to handle decisions autonomously, they become more invested and produce better outcomes. For a small business example, let's look at Fireclay Tile, a mission-driven tile manufacturer. The founder, Eric Edelson, built a culture where employees at all levels are trusted with significant responsibilities. At Fireclay, team members aren't just given routine tasks. They're encouraged to make decisions that contribute to the company's goals, whether it's innovating on tile design, improving sustainability practices, or enhancing customer experience. Fireclay practices open book management, meaning employees are given full transparency into the company's financials, project goals, and progress. This level of openness helps employees see the bigger picture, understand the company's vision, and feel a deeper sense of responsibility. For example, a designer might be responsible not only for creating a product, but for making sure it aligns with Fireclay's sustainability standards. By delegating responsibility in this way, Edelson empowers his team to take ownership of their work. Employees feel trusted and valued, which has contributed to Fireclay's strong reputation for both quality and innovation. If you're leading a small team, start by identifying key areas where you can delegate responsibility in a way that lets team members own the results. For example, if you have a team member with an eye for detail, entrust them with a project that requires quality control or process improvement. When people understand how their work contributes to the bigger picture, they're more likely to take it seriously and feel invested. Effective delegation goes beyond simply assigning tasks. It's a way to build a stronger team and help your organization grow. By delegating, you're not only freeing up time for yourself, but you're also developing the skills of your team members. When you delegate tasks that require responsibility and problem solving, you give people a chance to learn and grow, making your team more capable and resilient over time. Think of delegation as a way to create a culture of accountability. When employees are given ownership over specific projects or tasks, they're encouraged to take initiative, think creatively, and make decisions independently. This kind of delegation cultivates a team where everyone contributes their best work. Another example from a larger company is Southwest Airlines. Southwest is known for empowering employees at all levels, especially frontline employees, to make decisions that enhance customer satisfaction. Flight attendants, for example, are given the freedom to add a personal touch to the in-flight experience and can even make decisions on the spot to improve customer service. This culture of delegation means that employees don't need to ask for permission to do things like accommodate a passenger's needs or handle a customer service issue. They're given the trust to make these decisions themselves, which contributes to Southwest's strong reputation for friendly, reliable service. By delegating customer service responsibilities, Southwest creates an empowered workforce where each employee feels personally responsible for delivering great service. Southwest Airlines shows us that delegation doesn't have to be reserved for high-level roles. Even frontline employees, when given trust and autonomy, can make decisions that drive customer satisfaction and strengthen the brand. Effective delegation can happen at every level and is especially powerful when employees know their decisions are trusted by leadership. One important aspect of delegation is finding the right balance between autonomy and accountability. When you delegate, it's important to give your team members the freedom to make decisions while also ensuring they're accountable for the results. This balance helps people feel trusted while still keeping everyone aligned with the organization's goals. For example, if you delegate a project to a team member, set clear expectations for the outcome, provide any necessary resources, and then step back to let them manage the process. But make sure there are check-in points along the way to discuss progress and address any questions. This structure allows them to take ownership of their work while also feeling supported. A smaller business example of balancing autonomy and accountability can be seen in some real estate firms where agents or property managers are given full ownership of client relationships, but with regular team check-ins to maintain alignment on strategy and service standards. For instance, a property manager may handle client interactions, rental agreements, and problem-solving independently, but they participate in weekly meetings to share updates and seek guidance if needed. This setup helps ensure that each property manager feels both empowered and connected to the team's goals. By setting clear expectations and allowing them to manage client relationships independently, these real estate firms create a team culture where everyone feels accountable for their results. To find the right balance between autonomy and accountability, set up periodic check-ins where team members can share their progress and ask questions. Make sure you're clear on the results expected, but flexible about how they get there. This way, team members feel empowered to use their judgment but have the support they need along the way. In summary, effective delegation isn't about simply offloading tasks. It's about giving people the responsibility to manage projects in a way that builds their skills, autonomy, and sense of ownership. Whether it's Apple's product teams, Fireclay Tiles' transparent management, or Southwest Airlines' empowered customer service approach, each of these companies shows us the power of delegation done right. By clearly defining goals, building trust, and providing the freedom to make decisions, leaders can foster a team culture where everyone feels motivated and accountable. Next, we'll explore how trust and setting clear expectations are essential in the delegation process, with real-life examples of how this can be achieved effectively. Stick around as we dive deeper into the art of delegation. Once we understand the purpose of delegation, the next step is to build trust and set clear expectations. Effective delegation relies on two core elements: trusting that your team members can handle the responsibility, and clarity about what's expected in terms of goals, outcomes, and quality standards. When team members feel trusted and understand exactly what's needed, they're more likely to take ownership and deliver great results. Trust can't be built overnight. It requires consistency, transparency, and a willingness to let go of some control. Clear expectations, on the other hand, can be established right from the beginning. By setting up strong guidelines, timelines, and success criteria, you create a structure that empowers your team to work independently while staying aligned with your vision. One well-known example of building trust and setting expectations is the Ritz-Carlton's employee empowerment policy. Ritz-Carlton is famous for its exceptional customer service, and a big part of this success comes from how they empower their employees. Each Ritz-Carlton employee is given the authority to spend up to $2,000 per guest per incident to resolve issues without needing approval from a manager. This policy is a testament to the company's trust in its employees and its commitment to guest satisfaction. The Ritz-Carlton also sets clear expectations for what top-tier service looks like. Employees go through extensive training on service standards, problem-solving, and communication, so they have a clear understanding of the company's mission. With this clarity, employees feel confident in making decisions that align with Ritz-Carlton's brand values. This combination of trust and clear expectations allows employees to handle situations as they see fit, delivering an outstanding experience for guests and feeling empowered in their roles. The Ritz-Carlton's approach shows that empowering employees to make decisions works best when it's paired with clear expectations. When team members know they're trusted to act and understand what success looks like, they're more likely to take ownership and provide exceptional results. For a smaller business example, let's look at Stone Brewing, an independent craft brewery known for its commitment to quality and innovation. At Stone, employees are entrusted with quality control, meaning that anyone on the production line has the authority to stop the line if they spot an issue with a batch. This level of trust empowers employees to maintain Stone's high standards without waiting for managerial approval. However, Stone doesn't just leave quality to chance. Every team member involved in brewing goes through extensive training on Stone's quality standards, so they're clear on what's expected at every step of the process. By providing this clarity, Stone Brewing ensures that employees understand the company's commitment to quality and that they feel empowered to uphold it. The combination of trust and clear standards allows Stone Brewing to maintain consistency and excellence across its products. If you're leading a smaller team, consider starting with an area where trust and quality are especially important. Provide your team with the training they need to understand quality expectations and empower them to make decisions that uphold those standards. When people feel trusted and prepared, they're more likely to take responsibility seriously. Clear expectations are also essential for avoiding confusion and micromanagement. When delegation lacks clarity, team members might feel uncertain about their responsibilities or unsure of how to measure success. This lack of clarity can lead to constant check-ins, questions, or reverse delegation when team members bring tasks back to you for approval. To avoid these issues, try setting clear goals and defining what success looks like before you hand off a task. Specify any key milestones, deadlines, and quality criteria, and then encourage team members to take charge. A high-stakes example of setting clear expectations comes from NASA's Mars rover mission. In a project as complex as sending a rover to Mars, clear expectations and milestones are essential. NASA's leadership set well-defined milestones for each stage of the mission, from testing components to running simulations and eventually launching. Each team member knew their role, timeline, and quality expectations for their specific piece of the project. This clarity allowed each team to work independently while staying aligned with NASA's overall mission. Clear milestones and defined success criteria ensured that every piece of the mission contributed to the bigger picture. By combining trust with clear expectations, NASA empowered its teams to take ownership over their roles, making the Mars rover mission a collaborative success. To create clear expectations in your own team, think of setting milestones like NASA did. Break down the project into specific steps with defined outcomes for each. Communicate what success looks like and encourage your team members to bring their own approach to each milestone. With these expectations in place, your team will feel confident to proceed and less likely to rely on constant guidance. Think of clear expectations like a recipe. If you tell someone to just make a great cake, it leaves a lot open to interpretation. But if you provide a recipe and the right ingredients, they'll have everything they need to succeed, and hopefully you won't have to keep peeking over their shoulder. For a relatable small business example, let's consider a local design firm that specializes in custom interiors. At this firm, each designer is given full ownership over their projects, but with a clear understanding of client expectations, budget constraints, and deadlines. At the start of each project, the firm's leader sits down with the designer to outline the client's needs, the timeline, and any essential design elements. Once these expectations are set, the designer is trusted to manage the project independently, keeping the client updated on progress and making creative decisions as needed. By establishing clear expectations up front, the firm's leader minimizes the need for constant oversight and gives designers the freedom to showcase their expertise. This setup creates a positive cycle. The designers feel respected and trusted, which boosts morale and creativity, leading to better results for the client. If you're running a smaller business, try creating a checklist or project plan for key roles or projects. Outline the expectations for quality, deadlines, and client communication. By setting these clear standards up front, you empower your team to manage projects independently while staying aligned with your goals. In summary, building trust and setting clear expectations are essential for effective delegation. As we saw with Ritz-Carlton's guest service policy, Stone Brewing's quality control, NASA's milestone-based approach, and the local design firm's project guidelines, trust and clarity empower teams to take ownership with confidence. By trusting your team and giving them a clear framework for success, you build a culture of accountability and engagement. Next, we'll talk about the importance of letting go, avoiding micromanagement, and giving your team the space to work independently. Stick around as we dive deeper into the art of delegation. One of the biggest challenges in delegation is learning to let go. After we've delegated a task, it's tempting to keep checking in and directing every detail, but this can easily lead to micromanagement. Micromanagement undermines trust and autonomy, making team members feel like they're not trusted to do their jobs. Instead of feeling empowered, they become frustrated and disengaged. An equally common issue is reverse delegation, when a team member gives the monkey back by coming to you for every decision or asking for approval on details. Reverse delegation can occur when people don't feel confident or if they sense that you'd rather take control. To delegate successfully, it's crucial to give your team the freedom to execute the task independently while providing the guidance and support they need to feel capable. One excellent example of avoiding micromanagement is Basecamp, a software company known for its hands-off management style. At Basecamp, leaders set clear goals and parameters, but they don't dictate the exact path the team should take to reach those goals. Once a project is assigned, team members are trusted to make their own decisions and manage their work independently. This approach allows employees to be more creative, efficient, and responsible for their outcomes. Basecamp's founders, Jason Fried and David Heinemeier Hansen, believe that talented people don't need constant oversight. They set up regular check-ins to discuss progress, but avoid interfering with the details unless guidance is needed. This management style builds trust and allows employees to own their projects fully. The result is a team that feels motivated and capable, knowing they're trusted to make decisions without a manager constantly looking over their shoulder. To avoid micromanagement, set up structured check-ins instead of constant oversight. This approach allows you to stay informed and offer support when needed without interfering with every decision. Encourage your team to ask questions, but make it clear that you trust them to handle the day-to-day details. Think of it like teaching someone to drive. You give guidance from the passenger seat, but you're not grabbing the wheel every few seconds. When you trust people to steer, they're more likely to reach the destination confidently and safely. Netflix offers a great example of avoiding reverse delegation by encouraging employees to own their decisions. At Netflix, employees are encouraged to make choices independently as long as they align with the company's freedom and responsibility culture. This means that employees are trusted to act in the company's best interest without needing constant approval. Netflix's leaders support this culture by making it clear that team members have the authority to make decisions within their roles. If someone encounters an issue, they're encouraged to propose a solution before seeking input. This approach prevents reverse delegation because employees know they're trusted to handle challenges independently and are encouraged to bring solutions, not just problems. Netflix's approach highlights the importance of giving team members ownership over their tasks. By fostering a solution-first culture, you avoid having tasks brought back to you every time there's a challenge. When people feel empowered to make decisions and address issues themselves, they become more confident and capable. To avoid reverse delegation, encourage team members to come to you with solutions, not just problems. Let them know that you value their input and trust them to make decisions. Over time, they'll develop the confidence to take ownership and handle challenges independently. Let's consider a small business example from a creative agency specializing in branding and design. At this agency, each designer is given full ownership of client projects. Instead of requiring approval on every creative choice, the agency's founder sets expectations at the start, then steps back to let the designer take control. Designers are encouraged to consult with the client directly, manage the project timeline, and even make budgetary decisions within set limits. By creating a structure that emphasizes independence, the founder avoids micromanaging and encourages each designer to develop their own client relationships. And to prevent reverse delegation, designers are encouraged to discuss any challenges and propose solutions during team meetings, which are scheduled weekly. This way, the team knows they have support, but are also trusted to handle their projects autonomously. If you're leading a smaller team, try giving each team member full ownership over specific projects or client accounts. Encourage them to make decisions and handle client interactions, and hold regular but brief check-ins to discuss progress and challenges. This approach fosters autonomy while ensuring they have a clear support structure. One of the keys to avoiding micromanagement and reverse delegation is finding the right balance between support and control. Think of delegation as a spectrum. At one end, you're overly involved, checking every detail. At the other end, you're completely hands-off, offering no guidance. The ideal point is somewhere in the middle, providing just enough support to help your team succeed without controlling the process. If you sense that a team member lacks confidence, consider offering mentorship or training to build their skills. On the other hand, if you notice that they're consistently bringing tasks back to you, encourage them to problem solve independently. Finding this balance helps you build a capable team that knows you're there for support, but also trusts itself to make decisions. Toyota provides an excellent example of balancing support and control through its Kaizen, or continuous improvement model. Toyota's leaders delegate responsibility for quality and efficiency improvements directly to assembly line workers. Team members are encouraged to identify inefficiencies and propose process improvements, and they even have the authority to stop the production line if they spot an issue. However, Toyota's leaders don't simply hand off responsibilities without support. There's a robust framework in place for identifying problems, brainstorming solutions, and implementing improvements. Workers receive training on quality standards and efficiency techniques, so they're prepared to make well-informed decisions. By balancing control with support, Toyota creates an empowered workforce that's committed to continuous improvement. To find the balance between support and control, make sure your team has access to the resources and training they need to succeed. Set up a clear framework for decision-making and then let them take the lead on executing within that framework. This approach builds their confidence and helps prevent micromanagement or reverse delegation. If you go back to that cake analogy, you can set out the ingredients, go over the recipe and check in every now and then, but you don't need to stir the batter for them. With the right guidance, they'll bake something great all on their own. To sum it up, avoiding micromanagement and reverse delegation requires a delicate balance of trust and support. Companies like Basecamp, Netflix, Toyota, and even a small creative agency have shown us that empowering team members to handle tasks on their own leads to more confident, motivated teams. By stepping back and encouraging independence, you're fostering a culture where everyone feels capable and responsible. In the next segment, we'll explore the importance of providing feedback and recognizing progress as part of effective delegation. Stay with us as we dive deeper into the art of delegation and how to keep your team motivated and engaged. Now that we've discussed the importance of setting expectations and avoiding micromanagement, let's focus on the final element of effective delegation, providing feedback and celebrating progress. Once you delegate a task, your job isn't over. Thoughtful feedback and recognition are essential for reinforcing good work, motivating your team, and helping them grow. Feedback helps team members understand what they're doing well and where they can improve. When it's done consistently and constructively, feedback becomes a powerful tool for learning and development. On the other hand, celebrating achievements, even small wins, keeps motivation high, reinforces their progress, and builds confidence. Let's dive into some examples of companies that use feedback and recognition effectively to create a culture of growth and accountability. One excellent example of structured feedback and recognition comes from Google, where teams use OKRs, objectives and key results, to align their work with the company's strategic goals. OKRs provide a framework for setting clear, measurable objectives, which are regularly reviewed to track progress and adjust as needed. Employees receive ongoing feedback on their progress, and check-ins focus on what's going well and areas where they might need additional support or resources. At Google, managers hold regular one-on-one meetings to discuss OKRs, provide constructive feedback, and celebrate progress. These meetings create a space for employees to reflect on their work, address challenges, and receive acknowledgement for their contributions. This feedback structure keeps people motivated and engaged because they feel recognized and valued for their achievements. Google's use of OKRs shows that feedback doesn't have to wait until the end of a project. Regular check-ins help team members stay aligned and improve continuously, making the entire delegation process smoother. By setting up clear milestones and providing ongoing feedback, you ensure that everyone feels supported and recognized. For a smaller business example, Buffer, a social media management company, has created a strong culture of recognition and gratitude. They encourage public acknowledgement through their gratitude channel on Slack, where employees can share appreciation for one another's contributions. Whether it's a completed project or a simple act of teamwork, team members are encouraged to recognize each other's hard work in real time. Buffer also holds regular one-on-one meetings and growth check-ins, where managers and employees discuss progress, provide constructive feedback, and celebrate individual and team achievements. By creating multiple avenues for recognition and feedback, Buffer ensures that employees feel valued and motivated to continue improving. If you're leading a smaller team, try setting up a shared space where team members can recognize each other's efforts, whether it's a dedicated Slack channel, a message board, or weekly shout-outs in team meetings. Simple acknowledgements go a long way in building a positive, collaborative environment where people feel appreciated. Celebrating progress doesn't have to be a grand gesture. In fact, recognizing wins in real time can be especially effective. When team members receive immediate feedback, they can quickly learn from their actions, repeat what's working, and adjust where needed. Celebrating achievements, even small ones, boosts morale and reinforces a sense of accomplishment. One way to provide constructive feedback is to use the start, stop, continue method, where you highlight specific things they could start doing, things that aren't effective and should stop, and things they're doing well that should continue. This method gives team members clear, actionable insights without overwhelming them with too many points at once. At Zappos, the online retailer known for its exceptional customer service, managers provide real-time feedback to employees. Zappos places a strong emphasis on customer experience, so managers give immediate feedback when they see employees going above and beyond for a customer. This timely feedback helps reinforce good behaviors and motivates employees to maintain high standards. In addition to feedback, Zappos celebrates wins regularly, often in fun, memorable ways. For example, they throw mini celebrations when employees receive positive customer feedback or hit key milestones, like completing a big project. This focus on real-time recognition and feedback creates an engaged workforce that feels connected to the company's values and mission. To make real-time feedback part of your routine, try scheduling brief weekly check-ins where you can recognize recent successes and offer constructive feedback. Even a quick message or thank you note can go a long way in making people feel appreciated and valued. For a smaller team example, Fireclay Tile also emphasizes feedback and recognition as part of its delegation strategy. Fireclay holds weekly team meetings where they highlight employee achievements and recognize outstanding contributions. Employees at every level are encouraged to shout out their colleagues for hard work or creative problem solving, fostering a collaborative and supportive environment. Feedback at Fireclay is structured to be constructive, focusing on growth opportunities rather than simply pointing out mistakes. This creates a safe space where employees feel comfortable taking initiative and learning from their experiences. Fireclay's approach reinforces a culture where people are motivated to bring their best ideas to the table and feel acknowledged for their efforts. If you're running a smaller business, incorporate weekly shout-outs in team meetings or an internal newsletter. By setting aside time for regular feedback and recognition, you create a positive culture where people feel seen, valued, and more willing to step up. Effective feedback not only improves performance, but also helps build a culture of growth. When people know that their work will be acknowledged and their efforts recognized, they're more motivated to take ownership of tasks, seek improvement, and feel connected to the team's success. By fostering a growth-oriented feedback culture, you also create a supportive space where mistakes are seen as opportunities for learning rather than failures. Constructive feedback helps team members see where they can improve and reinforces the behaviors that lead to success. Celebrating progress along the way boosts confidence and reinforces the team's collective effort. At Adobe, instead of traditional annual reviews, managers and employees participate in regular check-ins. These meetings are focused on discussing goals, challenges, and progress. Feedback is given frequently, which allows employees to make adjustments in real time and feel a greater sense of direction and motivation. Adobe's frequent feedback system reinforces a culture of growth and improvement, where employees don't have to wait months to hear how they're doing. These regular check-ins also keep people aligned with Adobe's mission and ensure that employees are always growing and evolving in their roles. Consider replacing or supplementing traditional performance reviews with frequent check-ins. When employees get regular, growth-focused feedback, they feel more connected to their work and are more likely to continue improving. To sum it up, providing feedback and celebrating progress are key parts of effective delegation. Companies like Google, Buffer, Zappos, Fireclay Tile, and Adobe show us that consistent recognition and constructive feedback reinforce positive behaviors and keep teams motivated. When you make it a habit to acknowledge and celebrate the small wins along the way, you create a culture of growth and continuous improvement. Finally, we'll wrap up this episode with actionable takeaways and tips to help you start delegating effectively. Stick around as we conclude with some practical steps you can apply in your own leadership journey. All right, as we wrap up today's episode on the art of delegation, let's quickly review the main strategies we've discussed. Effective delegation is more than simply assigning tasks. It's about empowering your team, building trust, and creating a culture of growth and accountability. With these skills, you're not only developing a stronger team, you're also freeing yourself to focus on the big picture goals that drive success. So here is a recap of key takeaways. 1. Understand the purpose of delegation. Delegation is a way to build your team's skills and confidence by giving them meaningful responsibilities. From Apple's product team autonomy to Fireclay Tile's hands-on quality control, we've seen how successful organizations use delegation to empower employees and foster innovation. 2. Build trust and set clear expectations. Trusting your team starts with defining clear expectations. As shown by Ritz-Carlton's employee empowerment policy and Stone Brewing's commitment to quality, clear guidelines give people the confidence to take ownership and make decisions independently. 3. Avoid micromanagement and reverse delegation. Effective delegation means letting go of excessive oversight and encouraging your team to solve challenges on their own. Basecamp's hands-off approach and Netflix's freedom and responsibility culture are powerful examples of how empowering employees leads to greater accountability and growth. 4. Provide feedback and celebrate progress. Feedback and recognition are essential to reinforce positive behaviors and motivate your team. Companies like Google, Buffer, Zappos, and Adobe have created cultures of feedback that encourage growth and keep employees engaged. If there's one thing to remember, it's that delegation is more than a management technique. It's an opportunity to build a stronger, more engaged team. When you delegate effectively, you're not just lightening your own load. You're also showing your team that you trust them to contribute meaningfully. This trust is the foundation of a resilient, motivated team that takes ownership of their work and strives for excellence. Whether you're leading a large team or a small one, delegation is a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. By giving others the chance to lead projects, take risks, and solve problems, you're empowering them to become leaders in their own right. Remember, leadership isn't about doing everything yourself. It's about bringing out the best in others. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. By delegating effectively, you're building a team that can go far with you through challenges, changes, and every success along the way. Before we go, I'd love to hear from you. How do you approach delegation in your own team? Have you found any strategies that help build trust, set expectations, or provide feedback effectively? Share your thoughts in the comments or tag us on social media using #TheBusinessBookClub. Your stories and insights could be just what another leader needs to hear. Thanks for joining me today on Leadership Unpacked. Next episode, we're diving into navigating conflict with insights from Crucial Conversations by Kerry Patterson. We'll explore practical strategies to communicate constructively and help you address conflict head-on and build a stronger, more collaborative team, so don't miss it. Until next time, keep leading with trust, clarity, and confidence. Thanks for tuning in to Leadership Unpacked.